Welcome back to Living Free Alaska. In this week's vlog, we're answering your best burning questions. We'll cover everything from our daily routines, how we can afford to live here, as well as address the challenges and rewards of life in Alaska. But that's not all. This episode is extra special because we're giving you an exclusive insider tour of our modern Alaskan shop house. We will walk you through all the cozy living spaces and show you how we've designed and built a space that blends both functionality and comfort for just the two of us. So grab a cup of coffee, get comfy on the couch, and get ready to get to know a little bit more about us on a personal level. So let's get started. Well, good Wednesday morning, everyone.
Hello, guys. How are you?
We hope you are doing wonderful today. Today is December 11th in real time for you guys.
I hope you guys have had an awesome Thanksgiving, had a great time with your family and friends.
And tomorrow in real time is our 12th wedding anniversary.
Ooh, we made it 12 years.
It's kind of special. 12 has a lot of meaning to us.
Right.
Because we were married on 12/12/12.
At about 12 in the afternoon. It was supposed to be noon, but we were a few seconds late. So it made it to be 12 in the afternoon, yes.
So
anyway.
Today we thought we'd do something a little different and do a Q&A session with you all. We put a call out on our Facebook and our YouTube channel and Instagram to ask us any question that you would like to know about us.
Well, any question.
Any question.
Ooh, that kind of leaves things open a little bit.
A little bit. And we will do our best to answer them for you.
Sure.
So here are a couple of the topics that we're going to touch on. We have lots of questions on the house.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful home.
We have lots of questions on moving to Alaska.
Best choice ever.
And of course, Alaska questions in general.
Just a beautiful state.
We have a lot of questions of how did we meet?
Long time ago.
How we can afford to live in Alaska.
Details. We'll have to go into details on that one.
They want questions asked about our YouTube life and channel.
It's been a lot of fun, guys. Thank you.
And just some general questions about family, about RVing up here, and just miscellaneous doesn't really fit in a category. So if this sounds interesting, sit back, join us on the couch, and we will answer your questions. So first question up today is from Troy Harper. And Troy asks, just curious, can you do a house tour again? I told my husband it was amazing, but he just doesn't see what I know.
Well, I think rather than sitting on the couch, we should oblige that and go for a tour around the house.
Absolutely. All right. Shall we start here in the living room?
Well, we're sitting here on our beautiful couch right now, so
all right.
We'll start here in the living room.
Well, first question, Eric Gonzalez Pons asks, how did you come up with your house build plans?
She drew them on a napkin and tossed them to our builder, and it basically said, build it.
Pretty much. I will say this is not our first house that we have built from the ground up. Our last house, the River House down in Washington, we built with guidance of a builder.
Sure.
We learned a lot during that process.
A lot of information from that build.
Yes, so much we brought into this house. But yeah, I literally did take a big piece of graphing paper, and for every square, it was 1 foot, and we just designed it ourselves. Found a builder, and then literally scooted it across the table and said, build this.
Taking into consideration all the toys we have, the boat, the RV, the ATVs, the snow machines, our daily drivers, and also our living requirements that we wanted within the living area of the house too. We had to take all those considerations into effect to put it together into that floor plan that we passed to the builder. And we tweaked a couple little things with the builder, but for the most part, what we drew was what we got.
Pretty much. Can't be happier.
No, that's pretty amazing.
Second question is from Debbie Carrick, and I apologize if I mispronounce any of your names. But why did you decide to move to Alaska, and why Houston? So we'll answer the Houston part.
Okay, yeah, we can do that now because I know the why to Alaska is big too.
It will come up later.
But why Houston? We've always, together, Stacey and I, have always lived out of town a little bit and have never had a need to be in the middle of the hubbub of town every day. And Houston was far enough out of Wasilla that we felt that it wasn't in town. We're a half hour from Wasilla, living in Houston. And it gave us the ability to have more property as well. We have about 8 acres here. And then we also have amazing access to backcountry just across the street from here. We can take our ATVs and snow machines just across the street to unlimited access to backcountry.
Just to add on to that, another reason why we picked Houston specifically, or this part of Alaska as a whole, as an area, is we are central to every part of the road system in Alaska.
That comes from the planner of things. So we can be there in 6 hours, or we can be there in 6 hours, or we can be there in 6 hours.
Pretty much. So as RVers, our past is we were pretty much full-time RVers, and we RV'd all over the state. And we still do. We enjoy to get out, go camping. Yep. And from here in Houston, as he said, it's 6 hours to Tok, it's 6 hours to Fairbanks, it's 6 hours to Valdez, and it's 6 hours to Homer. Yep. Those are both basically all endpoints of the major road systems here in Alaska. Sure. Seward's a little closer at 4 hours. Anchorage is only an hour and 20 minutes. And where we go boating is a 3-hour drive. Yes. So we're very central to pretty much anywhere we want to go, which makes it very nice.
It is very nice. And that's why we chose Houston.
Another question about building was from Jane Zappielli. And he wanted to know, is there permits that you have to apply for, or are you free to build whatever you want?
Well, it's kind of funny because people think of Alaska as the last frontier, and it kind of still is the last frontier. But in more recent years, they are really kind of cracking down on building whatever you want. There is a building permit application that we have to go through the city of Houston, and there are certain standards that the Matanuska Borough require. So they're loose standards. They're not high. They're not strict. We didn't have a final building inspection. We didn't gain a final occupancy permit. That's just stuff that didn't happen. But for the most part, if it's a basic home, they want to make sure you have siding on it. They want to make sure it's insulated. They want to make sure there's a heating source and restroom facilities and such in the house. And that's about it.
The other thing you want to think about too is when you're building up here, you want to make sure you do it to code or to standards, because if it comes time to sell that property, you may not be able to sell it if the buyer has to finance, because without things done properly, there's no way a bank is going to finance a purchase. Right. So we did everything by the book. We even hired a inspector throughout the process.
Our own private inspector. Yeah.
Just to make sure that everything was being done correctly. And, there was a couple of things that needed to be corrected. So I feel good about the whole build.
And being in this northern latitude, there are special requirements for insulation. There's also special requirements for snow load and such. And all those calculations were done via our builder, who's also an architect and designer. So he did all those.
And a building engineer.
And building engineer, yes. So working in conjunction with the truss factory, they made all those to match and meet and exceed the snow load requirements in the area.
Andrea Jenkins asks, why did you build such a huge home for when there's only the two of you?
Well, it's not just... The house is a third of the full footprint.
No, I tease. It's 1/4 house, 3/4 shop and garage.
Well, not quite.
It's pretty close.
Close.
It's pretty close.
Our living area, the house that we live in, is 3,200 square feet.
It's a very basic house. Yep. It's basically, it's 4 bedrooms, but in reality, it's 3 bedrooms and an office. I would say my office is pretty small for a bedroom. Upstairs, we have a full guest room, and then I have a second guest room, which is connected by Jack and Jill bathroom. And I use that as a craft room and our studio where we do our live podcasts.
Right. And we've got a fairly large kitchen downstairs, a good living room and dining room combination. We almost forgot, well, we did in our design phase. When we slid that piece of paper over to our builder, we didn't have a dining room really slated out in
dedicated.
Dedicated. So we kind of combined the living room, dining room into one, which has worked fine for us.
And then the master bedroom is on the first floor. We purposely did that for aging. I truly do feel this is our forever home. And if, a lot of people don't think about that with handicap access and all that. They put the master upstairs. And what happens when the day comes when you can't do those stairs? So we purposely built the master downstairs on the main floor, and then upstairs is a full suite for the guest room, which has walk-in bathroom and also walk-in laundry.
Right. We also have a really nice sitting area just outside the guest suite with a fireplace and a couple of real comfortable turny, twisty chairs. And then a den directly above us, above the kitchen right now, that has our beautiful big TV in there. And that's we go upstairs, sit on the leather couch, and have a great evening up there.
We'll take you up there in a little bit and show you around. But should we show them your awesome kitchen?
Well, sure, but we haven't explained all of the house yet. What's the other three-quarters of the house?
Why don't we explain that when we actually take them
for
a tour?
All right.
It makes sense to talk about it as we go.
Sure.
In fact, let's do the ground floor right now, and then we'll come back and answer a couple more questions.
Well, welcome to the kitchen. We took quite a bit of time in designing this kitchen, taking from our previous home that we built in Spokane area. It was a beautiful kitchen down there. We just wanted to make this one a little bit larger and more user-friendly with more people in it. Before we had just kind of a small little alleyway almost. This time we have a very large, expansive dance floor of a kitchen here where multiple people can work at one time and get around very easily, and a lot of tasks can happen at one time. Over here is kind of the heartbeat of the kitchen. I'm the cook in the house. I had fallen in love with Thermador products in the past in our other build, and I wanted to updo myself from then. So previously we had a 36-inch range. Now this is a 48-inch range. It's an all-gas range with the exception of electric griddle and a grill on top. And what that gives me is 6 dedicated gas burners. And then I've also got 2 ovens, large oven, small oven. And they are both gas as well, so I can have I've got the super high temperature broiler in there for making the amazing restaurant quality steaks. Some of you may have seen me drop a steak out of the oven once or twice. Anyway, that happens, but hey, beautiful oven. It's not too dirty. But the heartbeat of the kitchen, a big, huge, and not industrial size, but it's still a residential exhaust fan. The funny thing is, when we're like in the wintertime and I'm doing a big steak smoky thing on the stove, I have the fan going on 2 or something like that. It pulls smoke out of the smokestack from the wood stove over there. There's so much force coming that this fan pulls into the house, so I have to crack a door to compensate for that. Anyway, beautiful range, hood. So this is a day pantry. We don't use it a whole bunch now in our current diet, but, well, for spices I do. But this is where we have just easy grab and go stuff for the day. All the spices, small appliances, elements and snacks and chips and all that kind of stuff is in here. Other cooking accessories, griddles and racks and such, paper towels, garbage bags. That's just a quick, easy access, go get right now stuff for the pantry. Over here we got a stack of ovens, starting from the bottom. We've got a nice warming drawer down here. So when a meal's done or an item is done, you can set it in here at a certain temperature to stay warm until the rest of the meal is done. For Thanksgiving and large family feasts, that's such an amazing thing to have. Here we've got a steam oven. So this is great for fish and vegetables and other delicate items. Stacey's done her sourdough bread in a steam oven. It's been an amazing tool. We're still kind of learning the tricks of it though. A steam oven is a little bit different. We're not quite used to using it. It is electric steam oven. And up here we have what Thermador calls a speed oven, what most people would call a microwave. However, it does have a lot of options on here. It does have elements top and bottom. It can do convection cooking. It can do broiling. It can cook from the bottom. It can re-crisp pizza. It can pop popcorn. It can boil water. It can do all the stuff. All right, really nice. This is our large Thermador refrigerator and freezer column, 36-inch each one. And I had them switch it up a little bit, and I put the refrigerator on this side over here. It just made more sense to me. It opens up into the kitchen rather than having to walk around the freezer door to get in there. And then this is the freezer over here. Fairly large ice maker down there, big old ice drawer in here. There's a lot of stuff in there that we don't eat right now because we're doing this carnivore thing. And over here we had this specifically made for a coffee bar. So all of our coffee accessories are sitting here. The coffee maker, the grinder, the cold brewer, all that kind of stuff is just sitting right here with accessories down below in the drawer. And of course coffee mugs and other glasses right above. So a real nice area. This is the first place I go in the morning to press that start button or to make the coffee get going. And over here we got the Thermador Blue Star dishwasher. Nothing fancy. Well, nothing fancy. Yeah, it is fancy. It's quiet as heck. When this thing's running, you can't even hear it. Love it. Stacey wanted the apron style sink, and I think it looks amazing. It's great. We love it. Nice heavy duty ceramic, I believe it is. Beautiful sink. Big bank of drawers here. And then we've also got the twin can trash receptacle right here. Very nice. Big breakfast bar. We actually use this breakfast bar every day. We eat most meals here when it's just the two of us. Very comfortable area to sit, middle of the house. We watch the YouTube channel or whatever on the TV right there. And that's another thing we didn't think we were going to do in this house is put a TV in here. That's been really nice to have. And it's the kitchen's more of an informal sit down. I want to, listen to something on the news or whatever it is that can be going on while I'm cooking, versus having a TV in the living room. The living room is more of a formal sit down area and just enjoy the company. This, I want to hear what's going on. I want to hear the news and such. Then around this side over here, well, as you can see also, look at the color here. Look at the beautiful color of these cabinets with the antique trim around the edges and such. We love the contrasting of is it sea green or sea blue with the dark woods of the cabinets around here. That was something that we really wanted to set off differently in this kitchen versus our previous kitchen. Over here, another specialty cabinet with the stand mixer. It comes out and locks in place. Pretty handy to have. It does take up, it's a dedicated cabinet for that one tool, but it's worth it. And here we've got a double drawer beverage refrigerator that has become so handy. We love this because what it does is it keeps people out of the refrigerator here. And then all the beverages can be right here in these drawers. And then the stuff that doesn't need to be chilled are down here, along with how to make stuff down there, cookbooks. And we don't need to show all the cabinets, just more liquor storage here. And then if we head on this way, we're going to go right into the mud room, which is a bit of a mess. But this is right off the garage. Garage comes in here. We'll show you that in a minute. But this is the mud room. Jackets and shoes and coats and all sorts of good stuff. And then right down this way is our bulk pantry. Got shelves full of canned goods, cabinets full of other goods. We've got our chamber vacuum packer in here, and just storage for big stuff. All sorts of stuff in here. And it's really not very well organized, but I know where everything is.
And one thing I wanted to note, Gary is wearing his shoes right now, so he can't tell.
Oh, yeah.
But we purposely put no floor heating in this room, so it is always cooler. Your pantry should be cooler, and there is a huge noticeable difference on my bare toes in here.
Ooh,
so, what else were you going to say?
But this is an Alaska must-have, your bulk pantry. Because if there is a weather situation or an earthquake situation or something like that where you can't get somewhere, you should have a good amount of food on supply or on property to get you through several days.
Yeah. When I lived in Hawaii, same thing. We always had at least a month's worth of food because you're dependent on the boat bringing up food.
I guess here we're dependent on the boat too, and then here in Alaska, most of our food is delivered by sea.
By cargo ship. So, and if one boat for some reason misses that sailing, you can feel it pretty quickly at the grocery store.
You do see it. So having this bulk pantry kind of helps us span those gaps. And then, it's easy to come shop our own pantry for whatever we're going to make for dinner.
Yep.
And we've got plenty of protein in the freezers outside. We'll show you those in just a minute.
Well,
and
our new diet, we rarely come in here. This is all stuff we don't eat on carnivore. Very interesting.
Well, let's head into the garage now, since I kind of spilled the beans a little bit about our protein storage.
All right.
And welcome to our daily driver garage, right through here. Turn the lights on. Garage is big enough for both vehicles. I've got a full-size Ram 1-ton truck in here, 3500, and our Jeep Grand Cherokee fits very well. We wanted to purposely build this garage large enough to hold these vehicles. And I don't want to store much of anything else in here because I don't want to get it cluttered. We do have some building materials around still in the corners, but I just haven't found a good place for that stuff yet. And this rack here is just a miscellaneous shelving system to get stuff up off the floor, kind of give us a little bit more organization in the garage. Previously, all this stuff was kind of here. Now it's a little more organized. And now we're into our freezers, protein storage, and refrigerator. This freezer over here is mainly full of moose meat and a little bit of seafood. So moose, shrimp, halibut, salmon, ground pork, and some other stuff down there. In here, we've got, this is kind of funny. This is all ground moose, but this is chicken food ground moose. This is all cuttings and scraps from the moose harvest that we had. It wasn't edible for our consumption. We ground up and packed for chickens. And here we've got some hot dogs that we made from our moose meat. And we got some soups. We've got actually a chili and a split pea soup here. More hot dogs, some pork, and a couple of chickens down over there too. And then this guy over here is a regular refrigerator.
I'm going to be on your left.
This one right here is a regular refrigerator, kind of miscellaneous stuff. I got some beef fat trimmings that I need to process into tallow. More hot dogs. There's some more beef back over here. A bunch of butter in there. And then the refrigerator, I tossed not much in here right now. A bunch of beverages we don't drink. But there's a couple of things of chicken feed in there that are thawing out. We can give the chickens before we go. And this is all salmon and a little bit of halibut from 2024 season. So this is all our freshest fish. So that's our protein storage. We can come in here, grab whatever protein we need, and if we want to mix it with something in the large pantry, we can grab those off the shelves and head in the kitchen and make a dinner.
Well, welcome to our living room. And this room we basically built as just a great room. Down in Washington, we entertained a lot. We had a lot of friends and a lot of family that would come over and have group dinners with us. I mean, we're talking 15, 16, 20 people. So when we built this kitchen, we had that mentality in our head that we needed a really big opening space for entertainment. However, one thing we have learned here in Alaska is our entertaining circles have drastically shrunk because all of our family, mainly, is down in Washington. So entertaining here is pretty easy with our space. Here in the house, we can comfortably seat about 6 people for dinner. And if we have anything bigger than that, we have a party out in the shop. But I think eventually Gary and I could go to a smaller table right here just to open up the living room a little bit more. But as you can see, we do have our wonderful wood stove here. This is not our main source of heat. However, it does save us a lot of money in the winter. And therefore, we choose to burn a lot just to help save on heating costs. Because heating oil does go quick when that is the only way you're heating. And we do that through the floors. But as you can see, here in the living room, we just have a seating area. It's meant to sit on the couch, enjoy the morning, enjoy your coffee, watch the sunrise over the mountains, or have good conversation with friends. All right, shall we go upstairs?
I was going to say, one thing I love about this living room is it's open to upstairs. Beautiful mezzanine all the way up around the two sides. All right, now we're going to leave the kitchen living room area, head down this short hallway, and we're going to go right upstairs. On the way upstairs, we have a nice pantry right here. Vacuum cleaners and extra toilet paper and paper towels and all the stuff you put in the understair storage areas is right here. Upstairs, understair lighting, really nice. That way in the evening time you can really see the steps well. And Stacey got these tread covers, these little carpet tread covers. They're really nice. I like them a lot. Didn't know how much I'd like them until after we got them. One thing you'll notice is the railing here. We have metal post with stainless steel cable, wires, and a wood cap for the railing. Custom made. We had a local metal worker come in and custom design, custom make these for us.
He's an ironsmith.
Well, he is an ironsmith, correct. Viking Ironworks, I believe is the name of the company. Real good guy to work with. He's done some great work both inside and outside on the railing. Well, welcome to our upstairs paradise. This is where, when we were building the house, we had the first level of walls on. We took a 10-foot ladder, and I think it was right down here, right above these windows. They put a 10-foot ladder up there and stood up on the first level of the wall, and we could see the mountains up here. And this is where we decided we need to call the builder. I don't just want windows here. I want to put a deck on this whole back half of the house so we could enjoy that view all year round, because that is just an outstanding view of the Chugach mountain range right there. It's a big room, so we went with a big TV. I believe it's about an 85-inch TV. Nice little entertainment bureau or center or whatever you want to call it down below. We still are trying to figure out something to do on the bigger picture of the wall. I got some ideas. I think Stacey has some ideas of how to dress this up a little bit. Maybe this winter we'll try to tackle some of that. But big leather couch, a couple leather recliners, nice comfortable chair here, and the views out these windows it's just magical. You look all around here. It's just awesome. Newman loves it too. Don't you, Newman? Don't ya?
Silly.
Yeah. Now this way. When we were building the house, we always thought, well, we need an area on the north side of the house so we can view the aurora. And this was before we knew how the aurora was going to act here. But we thought we were going to this is going to be our aurora viewing platform. So we called this the aurora balcony. It's still stuck. It's kind of still what we call it because we do see the aurora from there sometimes, but it's easier viewed in the driveway. But this is our aurora balcony. Come out here real quick. Stacey doesn't have shoes on, so she could cold.
Still not 100% done.
No, we still gotta figure a floor out in here. This is where you know the builder and homeowner relationship kind of starts to deteriorate towards the end of the build. This is what happens. Our relationship deteriorated a bit, and things just kind of, for the most part, got left undone. Little things. But this is overlooking our driveway here. You can see the chicken coop there, and then the front of the house is the front of the shop is way up that way. Our 2-car garage is right down here. So kind of gives you a little bit of an idea of where we are. But this is a Aurora balcony. Nice glass windows here, glass railing. It does keep some of the snow out, but as you can see, not all the snow out. And then in the summertime, real easy access to the roof of the house if we need to get up there. Service the satellite, service the exhaust, or chimneys, whatever it may be.
If you can't tell, our house is a giant L.
It is.
Basically.
Yep, so this is the top of the L is the shops and such, and the bottom of the L is our 2-car garage.
And in the palm is the
house.
house.
Right here is the house, right here in the middle of the house.
So that's why I say it's 1/4 house and 3/4 shop and garage. Yeah. Or maybe 1/3 to 2/3.
I think 1/3, 2/3 is about right.
Okay, I'm cold. Let's go back inside. New me. What are you doing? Well, this part of the house is underutilized, but it is one of my favorite places. It's basically a place to come up, sit down, maybe read a book or pet a dog, and just enjoy. We also built this area for our guests when they come to stay. Typically when a family member or a friend comes to visit, they're going to be here more than 2 or 3 days. Usually on average, most people come a week or longer. So we wanted some place that could feel like their area, that they could go have their cup of coffee in the morning and have quiet time themselves. Another thing, we love these chairs. They came from Washington, and you can swivel around, and when there isn't Christmas garland in the way, you can see the mountains and enjoy the scenery. What do you think, no? But we also have a nice propane fireplace here, and this is actually thermostatically controlled. So, for example, when we go away on vacation, we don't have the house sitter use the wood stove. So we set this to a comfortable temperature, and whenever it dips below that, the fireplace will automatically turn on and keep upstairs nice and heated, which it does circulate with our house ventilation system. So it's just another source of heat, and it's also a backup source of heat. So let's go to the guest room. All right, before we go into the guest suite, this is just a perfect lead-in. A couple people have asked about family questions, and Susan Hobbin wants to know, do you both have siblings? Now, I myself am an only child. I have many sisters and a few brothers that I call family, but they are by in name only. But doesn't matter, as an only child, I love those brothers and sisters because I never had the privilege of having a best friend like that as a kid. But Gary, you want to talk about yours real quick?
Oh, brothers. Yeah, I've got 2 brothers, one older and one younger. We're all about 2.5, 3 years apart. So I guess that puts me in the middle. They're both down in Spokane. Doing their individual thing. Jason's got a great family. Just had his first grandkid, so congratulations, Jason, on being a papa. Pretty cool. David's doing pretty good. He's amazing, talented graphic designer, computer artist, and he just has an amazing talent for graphic artists, photography, and design. It's just his brain is outstanding when it comes down to that design aspect. So, pretty cool guy. But they're down in Spokane. They both have been up here and visited us the first year that we lived in the house. So they're up here for about a week.
And of course, Gary still has both of his parents.
I do. Very fortunate to have both my parents.
And when Mom was going to move up here, this guest room was going to become Mom's room.
Yeah, it was going to be very special for her.
Yeah, it was kind of hard to come home and put it back into guest mode because I was so ready for it to be Mom's room.
Yeah.
Come on into one of the favorite rooms of the house. Welcome to our guest suite. I personally love this room. I think it's the most inviting and warm feeling,
I guess Newman does too,
of a room that we built. And we did that on purpose. We wanted our guests to enjoy their stay. Some people said we probably did a little too many amenities where they don't want to leave. But there's nothing more uncomfortable than being in a space that's not comfy if you're a guest. So I made sure that we did it right. All the artwork on the walls are photographs taken by Gary and I, with the exception of the mountain or the sheep, the ram there. That was done by my girlfriend Bobby. But everywhere else are just scenic sights around Alaska. That is Denali. Over on the other side of the bed is some moose that we caught up in Chicken. We have a nice queen size bed, super comfortable. And in the closet, we even went as far as putting a washer and dryer for our guests. Not only does it make it easy on us when guests leave and we need to do laundry, but guests don't have to bring as much up and they can do laundry while they're here. The views out to the south bring in light all day long, especially in the winter months because our sun rises so far more southeastern. And right now, I mean, we are only less than 2 hours from sunset, and the sun is racing over to the west right now. Beautiful views overlooking the RV lot. The guest bedroom has an attached Jack and Jill bathroom that connects over to the second bedroom, which is now our studio. But we crafted this with the same counters as downstairs, walk-in shower. All our toilet rooms are separate for privacy. Double sink. I don't know. I think we did a good job. All right, now let's go into our very messy, please excuse the mess, but this is our studio where we do our live broadcasts for RVing to Alaska and our podcast show. So in here we do monthly, 2 monthly lives in the wintertime where we discuss about RVing to Alaska, and it's also kind of my craft room. So I will admit this is all my mess. Gary has anxiety whenever he comes into this room, and I just tell him, look beyond the mess. Everyone has that one room, and this is it for me. And then, of course, like I said, we did design this as a bedroom, so we've got full closets with built-in shelves. A little messy, pretty much my Christmas storage. Well, that is it for upstairs. As you can see, even though this feels like a big giant house, it's really not. I mean, our last house was over 5,000 square feet, just the living space. We are 2,000 square feet smaller than that with this. The footprint of the interior is only 3,200 square feet. So even though all our rooms are big and spacious, there's very few rooms to the house. Let's go downstairs and tour the master bedroom and my office. All right. The next question a lot of you asked us is about children. And it's a subject that we don't talk about our kids very often. And we're going to give you a little scoop into that right now. Well, welcome to our front entryway. And I think this is the first time we've ever sat on this bench.
It's not a bad spot to sit and relax. A great spot to take off your shoes when you come into the front door.
I think this conversation will be short and sweet, but you never know. So first of all, for me personally, I never had children of my own. As you know, Gary and I, as we stated at the beginning of this video, we were married 12-12-12. So that was only 12 years ago. And we were 36, 37 when we first started dating. And that's not an age to start a family.
No, we knew when we started our dating process and further on into our relationship that we did not want to have kids together. I have 3 daughters from my previous marriage, the ages 22, 20, and 18. So one is over in the Chicago area, and then I've got 2 of my daughters over in Washington still. It's a sore subject for me. It's a difficult time. In this video, we're not going to get into that information, but I don't have regular contact with them at all. There's been some parental alienation issues in the past that have scarred my children.
But know that we honor them and think of them every day. As you can see on our wall, we have pictures of them that we have been able to get on the internet. And our hearts are open to them whenever they're ready to get to know their dad again.
I have been able to contact my youngest daughter, Aslan. After Stacey's mom's death, it kind of set into me that I really don't want my kids not knowing who I am. So I reached out to her mainly because she didn't have me blocked. I can't reach out to my other 2 because I'm either blocked or they just don't respond or don't have a way to reach them. So I'm trying. I hope maybe they see these videos, maybe they see this video, and I hope maybe that gives them some hope that I do want to contact them. They are always in my thoughts, always in my prayers. Father's Day is a difficult day for me. Christmas is equally as difficult, but I love them.
Yep. And for me, as I was saying, I have no children. I did help raise 2 bonus children besides Gary's girls. Gary's girls were very early in our relationship of dating, and they were around that first summer. So I count them as my bonus kids too. And I really hope someday they get to know us again. But I do have a bonus son from a previous relationship when I lived in Hawaii, and I helped raise him for about 3 years, from when he was 3 to age 6. And then I have a bonus daughter, Michaela, who I was in her life with my second husband. And so I was a part of her significant years of growing up, from 3 years old until age 20. At 20, we had a falling apart, and I've tried to reach out, and it's in her court now if she wants to be a part of my life.
I know the feeling.
Yeah. So, bringing up the kids, it is rough. We do love them, and we think of them all the time. But we've also learned we have to live for today. That's so huge in our channel, and especially with losing my mom. Tomorrow's never promised, Today, the day we're filming this, is the 3-month anniversary of the last day of my mom's normal life. This was the day we sat in the ER all day thinking everything was going to be okay. And little did we know in 24 hours from almost right now that she took her last breath. So, family means so much to Gary and I, but, you know, kids for us, it was never in the cards. So we both have our bonus children and his girls. And that's why you don't see us talk about them or see them on the camera. They're not a part of our lives right now. We hope that will change someday.
If that opportunity does present itself, then yeah, sure, we'll tackle it and see what happens.
It's not just us. It's the entire Quimby family are waiting for the girls to be a part of us again. So we're all here with open arms. The thing is, parental alienation is a thing. And it's something the girls are going to have to decide to change. We can't force that change on them. We can only wait. So, yeah.
It's a waiting game, and we're here doing it.
It'd be nice if I saw this video.
I would love that. I would absolutely love that.
Piper, Kennison, Aslan, we love you.
Love you guys so much.
So that leads us to another question that a lot of you asked, and that is, how did Gary and I meet?
Oh, wow. That was a little while ago. Ninth grade. Must have been about 1987.
That is correct.
Something like that. You had just moved into the 9 Mile area that summer. Then the following school season starting, we were at an age where the 9 Mile School District,
they had no high school.
No high school. So we had to be bused to a different school area. And we met each other at Northwood Junior High.
Yeah. Another viewer asked what high school we went to, and we went to Meade. So they were from Deer Park, which is just right up the road.
So we started our life together at Northwood, and then the next year we transferred to Meade High School and had the rest of our high school year.
And the funny thing is in high school, Gary and I were very good friends. We were part of the same clique. And right after high school, we even went on a date.
It was, we did go on a date. It was kind of nerve-wracking, a little nervous for me, and you, I'm sure. And I dropped her off back at the house, and I don't know what happened.
He never got a second date.
I never got a second call back.
Until 20 years later.
It took several years later.
Well, it was 20 because we started dating right before our 20th high school reunion.
Another funny little fact. So we had started dating again. It was 20 years later. And she was taking me over to meet her grandparents. Very influential people in her life. They helped raise her for many of her years. So her grandparents were very, very, very close to her. And I walked in the door, and her grandfather, Ozzy, he recognized me right away. He's like, "Oh, you went on a date with my daughter a while back."
Granddaughter,
a while back.
And this was right after we graduated from high school. Yeah, so we're still talking 20 years.
20-year separation, and her grandfather recognized me from that date 20 years prior. So I think they welcomed me into their family with open arms, and
they did.
It's been amazing ever since.
Yeah. So one thing I think I haven't really mentioned much on the channel is my dad passed away 14 years ago in 2010. And Gary and I moved back home from Hawaii in 2011. And Gary and I started dating that spring. So my grandparents were kind of the parental figures, other than my mom, on my side of the family that took Gary in. And my grandparents loved Gary.
So Stacey was going through a real tough time in her life. You know, her dad passed away. 2 years later, her grandfather passed away. And then 2 years after that, her grandmother, Katie, passed away. And it was real difficult on her. And I'm just so glad I was there to be with her through that. And her grandmother told me that she was relieved that I was with Stacey and that she could pass knowing she was well cared for.
Yeah, on her deathbed, she made sure Gary was going to take care of me.
I have sworn I will.
That's one thing my grandma, she's like, you don't have any children of your own to take care of you. Who's going to take care of you? And I'm like, Grandma, don't worry about that. But that is another perfect segue into another question that a lot of people ask.
Rightly so.
Sometimes I get very annoyed by it, but it's curiosity. People want to know, how can you afford to live the way you live? And how do you have the toys and the tools, as I like to say?
I use that term. Come on.
How can we afford this lifestyle? And it's truly because of my family.
Absolutely, yes.
As an only child, and of a small family, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it. My family was influential. We had, if you've seen,
not just influential with you, but influential in the Pacific Northwest, Spokane specifically, in farming, agriculture.
Yeah, my great-grandfather, if you see the poster in the living room.
We'll give you a shot of that in a minute. It's
a tractor. And so my family comes from building farming machinery and boat trailers. And so my family, they were wealthy. I'm just going to put it out there. They had money. And when I say that, my grandparents and my great-grandparents. My great-grandfather was an inventor. He was a brilliant man. And then his children, my great-uncle and my grandfather, they took over his business. It's just kind of like a family legacy. My great-grandfather was also a land baron in Spokane. Yeah. I hate that term, but he owned...
A landowner.
He owned a lot of land. And then he sold it as the city grew. And so the family had wealth. Now, was I wealthy? No. I mean, I worked every day from the time I was 16 years old. I did take my senior year of high school off to enjoy my senior year. But besides that, in college, up until the day my dad died, I have always worked. And when my dad passed away, I was living in Hawaii, and my grandparents asked me to come home and take care of them. They took it very hard that their son died before them.
Absolutely.
My dad died at age 60, way too young. And so I obliged. I'm like, absolutely. I came home, and shortly thereafter, I started dating Gary. And, your parents, most parents, their goal is to be able to leave whatever they can leave for their kids so they can enjoy their life.
And just hope their kids lived a better life than they have.
Yes. And so my father planned for me to have a nice life. And then, as Gary said, my grandfather died 2 years, and then my grandmother died another 2 years later. So in a period of 6 years, almost my entire family, but my mother, had passed away. And so between the three of them, my father, my grandpa, and my grandma, they left me a trust.
Well, there's 2 trusts.
To survive on for the rest of my life. And it's a comfortable trust. And so that is how we have nice things. We also have an amazing investment portfolio and an amazing financial guy.
Thank you, John.
To continue to be able to invest our money and live the lifestyle we live. Nothing is for free.
No.
And a lot of people are like, oh, Alaska, your channel's Living Free Alaska. Our name has nothing to do with financial
Not at all.
freedom.
No.
Things being free.
It's more of a way of life. Living free is a way of life.
It's a lifestyle. Absolutely. Yeah. And I would give back every darn penny if I could have my family members back, because I would much rather have them than their money.
Absolutely.
But, ever since my dad died and I quit my job to help my grandparents, everyone's asked, well, how can you afford that? How can you afford this, this and that? And it's just like, listen, I'd give back every penny if I could have them back.
Yep.
I worked every day of my adult life until the day my dad died. And that was a significant change. And, do I miss working? No. But I've also had hobby businesses ever since my dad did die, because I basically retired at age 37, and you get bored not working. So I've sold jewelry. What are all the things
you were event
I've done?
planner, Hangout Community Club.
I was a very
Dam Days.
very big in event planning for our community.
A charity organization.
Nonprofit organization.
Right. We were able to donate $20,000 to our local school district out there through this charity that we had. So working that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And when we were first dating, Gary was still working. And finally, after a couple years, I'm like, honey, why don't we just let you retire? Because we could afford it.
Right.
So
we also wanted to travel a little bit. I was actually working for Delta Airlines as a contractor through SkyWest. Anyway, basically a Delta job. I worked and helped manage the ramp operations in Spokane. And flying standby got to be so difficult. We wanted to try to go travel places and this and that. And we were getting delayed and bumped off lists and couldn't get out of Chicago and this and that. And finally, Stacey said, we can afford to buy a ticket. Let's just buy tickets and fly, and you can not work anymore. And I mean, it was kind of hard to say what? to retire, quit working at 40? That's tough. I did, and have enjoyed it. Now I don't have a specific hobby. I just kind of do stuff around the house, maintain the house and all the toys and tools and equipment we have. And love life. Currently, I'm working with the Houston Planning and Zoning Commission to make our little town of Houston better.
Yeah, he's a commissioner. So we volunteer our time in
the communities we're in.
And then, of course, my current hobby business, which it's turning more into a real business versus hobby, and that's RVing to Alaska. I really love educating about Alaska. And so that's my current focus to keep me busy. I mean, even at 51, yes, we're retired. We retired young, but we're still very involved in our passions and our communities.
Yes.
Someone also asked what we previously did. So you worked for the airlines.
Yeah, we worked for the airlines. And before that, I was in San Diego, and I worked with the San Diego County Sheriff's Department for about 10 years. I worked in the jails as a deputy sheriff. And I tell you what, I've seen a lot down there. I've seen enough in the jails. I don't need to go back to that. I did enjoy the job, and I enjoyed the camaraderie of my partners I worked with. But the stuff that was in the jails was enough. And then I left San Diego, went to Spokane, and was working for Delta. And prior to that, I had a couple of retail jobs, mountain gear, outdoor retailer gear, a couple of ski shops, and this and that.
My previous experience professionally is I started out as a assistant to a administrator of a medical society, which then led me into office management of a company that sold and repaired medical equipment. And while I was in that job, I went back to college and finished my degree in business administration. When I graduated, that's when I went to Hawaii to celebrate my graduation. And I met a boy, not him, and I decided I need a change of my life. And I moved to Hawaii, and I worked for the U.S. Navy as a contractor for a missile defense contractor. So that was a fun job. I was a program analyst, and I basically made PowerPoint presentations each and every day, and some of my work landed on the president's desk.
Very cool.
So when I had finished that job, well, when my dad died and I moved home, you know, like I said, I always kept busy finding something to do.
And I've always joined her on those somethings to do too, because I have the time, I have the ability, and I enjoy working with her most of the time.
Should we go check out the master bedroom?
Yeah, let's go take a look at the master bedroom. Sure.
It is a little messy because we are leaving for our trip tomorrow.
Yes.
So excuse the luggage and all that, but let's take you in there. We don't have to go far.
First thing you'll see is our ornament on the floor. Hi, Spirit. How are ya? Well, this is our master. Pretty good sized room. I don't know what the dimensions are. One of the things I love about it the most is some of the detail that we put into this master bedroom, like the ceiling inlay here. I love the look of the inset ceiling, and then we took it a step further and we put the pine tongue and groove in there, backlit, and that surround is just really amazing. We've got large windows and a sliding door out to our hot tub patio out there. We'll show you in just a minute. Over here is something I take great pride in. This was another very nice detail in this master bedroom, the rock wall with the fireplace down here. This mantelpiece I made myself. We cut down a very large birch tree that probably wasn't going to live very much longer. And I've got a neighbor down the street that has a sawmill. So we milled it up at a neighbor's house. We brought it back here, and I stored it in our mechanical room where our boilers are for a while to help dry it out. And then I worked on the finished product, peeling all the bark off, exposing some of the live edge here, and just sanding it down and making a real nice finish off of it. I think it really has added a lot of uniqueness to our bedroom, and it's something that I personally put into the house. This is something we also grabbed from our previous home in 9 Mile, where I made the mantelpiece for the living room fireplace. So, a similar aspect. One thing Stacey really wanted in the bedroom was this contrasting wall behind me. The color. She wanted to bring the color of the Hawaiian Ocean in, and that wasn't quite the right color. We went a little bit darker than that. I forgot what the color was called, but I've come to love it. And then the artwork we found through local artists, and then a cruise ship artwork over there, it actually worked really well on the wall too. It's created a really comfortable environment for us, and it's just cozy and comfortable, and I love it here. This is our sanctuary.
Right off of the master bedroom is our master bathroom suite. This place reminds you of a spa. Absolutely wonderful. I have a very, very, very deep soaking tub. For example, this is how deep I can actually be fully submerged in my tub. And as much as I thought I was going to love this, I never hardly ever use it, because right outside the window is our hot tub. And even when it's negative degrees, we still go out there. And I thought when it was sub-zero, I'd be bathing in here. But I've only used this a couple of times, but I need to get in the habit of using it more.
So here's a shower. It's a double-headed shower. So we have hers and his. But not only is it a double-headed shower, we've got a steam unit on here too. So it's a steam shower. And with that, we've got the lights and a couple of speakers up in there so we can have some music playing while we sit and enjoy a nice steam. Oh, it feels so good. It's beautiful in here. I love this. The tile here, this is something Stacey really picked out. It has an iridescent glow to it. It's really sets off a lot of detail in here. And I like the fact that there's a window up here for some natural light as well. It's really a nice, comfortably large shower with a glass door as well. And over here we've got the double sinks with the pedestal between, cabinets and drawers and such, and as well as overhead cabinets. It's a little bit different for a bathroom, but we figured, well, shoot, why not? We've got the ceiling height in here. We thought, shoot, why not? We got the ceiling height in here, so why not put some upper cabinets in there?
And just like upstairs, we have a separate toilet room for privacy and all that. And then right off of the bathroom is our master closet.
We live in this house. This is our closet. It's not very clean. I apologize. Come on in.
Plus we're packing.
Not only are we packing for our 3-week trip, but we're also purging our closet at the same time. We're going through, this is donation. That's something new.
That's keep.
That's keep.
And so's that.
That's keep but store. And that's keep but store somewhere else. So we're packing and purging at the same time. But we have a really nice shelf system in here. A lot of hanging space, and shelves and drawers and shelves and drawers and this and that. And most importantly, within our closet, right off our master bathroom, is our washer and dryer. We don't have to go anywhere. We don't have to haul baskets of clothes anywhere. All right here with a nice workstation above it and more cabinets and shelves here with a specific dog wash sink that I think she's only used twice.
No, I've used it many times.
Okay. Master closet.
Well, that is the master. Do you want to show real quick the hot tub?
So right off the master bedroom, off that sliding door is access to our hot tub. We use this a lot. It's very nice, very warm, very comfy. This morning we were in here with the sunrise that was happening over there. Oh, it was just beautiful. Sipping on some coffee in the hot tub. Perfect. Love it.
And what I love the most is it's literally just steps from the bedroom. There's Sophie. Whoop.
So as we come out of the master bedroom, we have a little bit of a hallway here, and down on the right is Stacey's mess.
Hey,
I'm sorry, Stacey's office.
I did some organization. It's still a mess, but we're getting there. So welcome to my office. This is where I run RVing to Alaska. This is where I edit all of our videos. And yeah, I spend way too much time in this room, but I enjoy doing it for you all and for our customers with RVing to Alaska.
As you can see, the room is located right off the 2-car garage and right next to our entryway. So when you're looking out the windows there, that is our driveway, and the front door is right next door.
Yep. So that is basically the house.
Yeah.
We have toured everything except the half bath here on the main floor. Again, it's 3 bedrooms and an office. 2.5 bath, kitchen and living room. Oh, and den upstairs.
Yep.
Okay, a couple more questions
Alrighty.
that we'll answer. This time about our YouTube channel.
Oh.
Whoa. Yeah, I'm not going to pronounce your name right.
Sorry.
Natty Ningracia asks or states, I just love your voice when you narrate your videos. Do you ever think about doing voiceover work or anything in that field? Your voice is so smoothing.
The funny thing is that's what Stacey has the hardest time with sometimes is the narrations. But I agree with you. She does a very good job. I don't know if Stacey would agree with you, though.
Or it's funny. You either love it or you hate it. And
Yep.
someone just made a comment on this week's video that she really dislikes me narrating and wants me to not read a script and to just talk. And when I just try to talk and narrate that way, it comes out horrible.
Yeah.
It's so gibberish because my brain, I'm ADD and I can't do that.
I think I can go off script better than you can.
Yeah, you can't read from a script.
I can't read from a script at all, but give me a general consensus as to what you want me to say, and I'll pretty much be able to get it out there with a bunch of extra words.
Yeah.
But Stacey's on a script, she reads it, but she does a fine job, I think.
Well, and I narrate for two different reasons. Yep. One is obviously educational. A lot of times I don't have the facts or the information I need right when I'm filming it. So I go back, I film it, I do the research, and I educate you all on whatever I'm filming.
Yep.
The other reason why I narrate is sometimes we're in situations where we're not comfortable vlogging, holding up the camera and talking to you. But I still have a story to tell. For me and my process of YouTubing, I need to tell a story.
Yep.
And so that narration is to fill that gap. I don't like to just show us doing something and not explaining why or what or how. It's just my form of being a creator.
Sure.
I know I'm very different than most folks, and a lot of people have said how much they enjoy the narration. And personally, I hate it, like you said.
But I hope you hear that, you read that, and you absorb it and enjoy it and get better at it.
Yeah.
You will.
It does help too now that I have the equipment. I have the microphones to help my voice sound good. And I'm getting better at doing the audio levels, but it's definitely not easy. And I've never liked my voice. So hearing myself narrate all the time, it's hard.
But you learn from it too. You hear yourself and you say, oh, I shouldn't do that next time.
Yeah. Oh, here's another one that gave me a chuckle. Costa 16 Auto asks, you both seem extremely calm. Do you put any special behavior for the camera?
Hey folks, what you see is 100% what you get. If you meet us out shopping or whatever it is out in town, this is who we are.
Ask any of our friends.
There is no difference day to day. We don't put on a special show over YouTube.
No, I don't put on makeup and get gussied up for the camera.
I might put a brush through my hair and my beard and call it good. But no, and that's one thing that we pride ourselves in, is we are authentic and true to ourselves in our personal lives and in our YouTube life. This is how we are.
Jennifer Steiner asks, what is the one thing you would like to change about your experience on YouTube?
Wow, this channel here has been so amazing for us. What would we like to change?
I have an answer to that. So
I bet you do.
We've been doing YouTube for 8 years now. RVing to Alaska is our other YouTube channel, which we stopped creating content on that because we're really not traveling.
Well, we tried to do this on that channel.
And it didn't work.
Did not gain traction because we were tied in with that RVing niche.
So what I wish I had done differently is started this channel 3 years ago when we moved here. In the very beginning, as we started this new channel, it was all old videos that I was recycling, repurposing to catch you up with what we've been doing since we moved here.
Most of those videos lived on the old channel, on RVing to Alaska channel.
Did.
And they just did never gain traction.
None. And it just shows that YouTube will put you in a niche or a genre and you can't break out of it.
Yeah.
And I was talking to another YouTube friend of mine who's from Seward, and he was like, Stacey, you just need to start a second channel. And I'm like,
oh my gosh, that's so hard to do.
I don't want to do that. I mean, I was sitting at 12,000 subs over on RVing to Alaska, and I didn't want to start over because starting over is hard. It's hard to find that audience and to build. I mean, it took me 6 years to get where I am today on Living Free.
But that was with RVing to Alaska. That was 100% organic growth. That was minimal reach. we didn't push, we didn't advertise, we didn't do very much to grow the channel ourselves.
Same with Living Free Alaska.
We put ourselves into a different genre. We put ourselves into a different group of viewers.
Alaska Life content.
Alaska Life content is what did it.
Yeah, and RVing to Alaska is not Alaska Life content, and
No.
YouTube made that very clear.
Yep.
So that's my one. I wish I had done
I agree
differently.
with that. It would have. I don't know what it would have done for us, but I would have done a lot more.
I was also though not in a mindset when we first moved here to be doing YouTube again. I took a break. And that's why there was a lot of narration in those early videos. Again, I was trying to tell the story of where we were to today.
Yeah.
It wasn't until Christmas last year when I looked at Gary and I said, I want to try YouTube one more time. I've taken several breaks. And so then we started filming on RVing to Alaska, our daily Alaska life stuff, and I still couldn't.
It just wouldn't go anywhere.
I was maybe getting 200-300 views per video, and I'm like, what can I do differently? And that's when my friend Ben said, you need to make another channel. So I did, and immediately once I started putting content, I mean, we were getting thousands of views.
And you had built the content weeks before you announced the channel.
Yes.
So you were uploading the channel full of content way before you made it public, and then once you made it public, it was a flood. And my gosh, the subscription rate went up like crazy. The views went up like crazy, and
nothing like we had ever seen.
And here we are now. We're 9,500 subs or so. Getting close to 10,000.
Yeah, we're over 97 as of today.
Getting close to 10,000. So that reminds me, if you're not subscribed to our channel, please help us hit 10,000. I don't know what's going to happen when we do, but please help us hit 10,000 subscribers and subscribe to our channel, will you?
That would be pretty neat.
Yeah.
Blake Rudolph asks, what other Alaskan YouTubers have you met? And we've met a few.
A couple of them.
And in several different genres.
Yeah.
For example, my friend Ben, he has a overlanding channel. Some of the Alaska YouTubers, we've met we haven't met the huge...
Eric and Ariel.
We haven't met Eric and Ariel. We haven't met.
We've seen them a couple times in and around. Before they moved, they lived just up the street a little way.
Yeah, we would see them at the gas station, but we never bothered them. Never, it's just.
You had an experience at the Three Bears in Tok where we ran into Wildwood, Alaska.
Yeah, we met them in the grocery store. We met...
at the YouTuber Social here in Wasilla, we met several other groups.
And Montana Haven, Alaska Edition. And we met him at Lowe's. Yeah. So you kind of just meet people in passing. Another viewer asked, I think it would be fun to see all the YouTube homesteading families get together and make a video of all you hanging out together and exchanging stories and ideas. Jane Smith said that. And we do. So every summer, there is an Alaska YouTube picnic. We went this year and we got to meet...
we met Curmudgeon.
We met Flat Tire Farm.
Flat Tire.
Modern Homestead, Alaska. Yep. So...
several of them.
We have those connections, and it'd be nice to do collabs with them.
But the thing is
we're all just living life.
We're all just people. We're just living life. We're just doing our thing. And I believe, as with us, every one of them, they're just everyday people, and they're just showing you their everyday life. Yeah. I don't think any one of them put on a special show for the camera. No,
it's just... I don't know. We're weird, and we share our everyday life.
Open it up to you.
So, but yeah, I do give huge support out to the fellow Alaska homestead creators and other genres. I mean, it's amazing how many people actually have a YouTube channel.
Yeah, and there's so many other genres in Alaska that are there. There's fishing. There's like Summers. They just do a good life blogging, and there's quite a few other Alaska YouTubers around.
Yeah. So one more question about YouTube. Kitty Kimbrough says, what were your jobs prior to YouTube? Did they naturally lead you into YouTube? Were they travel and tourism, RVing, or completely unrelated?
I think Stacey's actually fairly relatable to maybe not a job, but an education.
Well, yes.
To what she's doing with YouTube.
So I was a TV radio major way back when in college at the University of Montana.
In the 90s.
And Eastern Washington University.
Yeah.
So I thought I was going to make television production. I wanted behind the scenes, editing, producing, things like that. I was never very comfortable in front of the camera. And who knew that 30 plus some years later, I would be producing television content. So it was done very differently back in the day, like literally film, cut, and splice and tape. Mm-hmm. I really love today's editing with just a keystroke. But yes, I really enjoy it. So I'm the one doing all the editing. I'm doing most of the shooting.
I'm getting up there. I'm getting in there, and my biggest holdback was the I don't know. Maybe it was the phone I had before. It was difficult to transfer my Android files to a Mac editing system, and I have now. I still don't like it, but I have an iPhone. I'm still not convinced that it's the phone for me. Samsung Galaxies are just great phones.
He's not even a week into an iPhone.
No, and I still don't like it. Galaxy, but
he's filming more because we have the capability of transferring the video.
Video transfer is much easier.
Last week's video, A Day in His Life, Gary filmed 100% that entire video on his phone, and I got enough content for an entire video. And then some. I cut a lot out.
Yeah, I gave you about 4 hours. 4 hours of video.
So we may see some more footage from Mr. Gary now that he has a device.
Right. But in my background, I've done some emceeing and DJing, like true wedding DJ kind of stuff. Not the wedding singer. I don't sing, but DJing and emceeing in the past with some other in Southern California and such when I was down there. With our volunteer opportunities and our charity programs that we worked with in 9 Mile
and our
rallies, I kind of MC those events. I kind of grab the mic and I go. I just kind of ramble on about what I need to ramble on about and have a good time doing it. Quite frequently, I'll be walking down the sidewalk next to Stacey, and next thing I see is a camera in my face without any kind of segue, any kind of, hey, Gary, do this. She just puts a camera in my face, and I just got to go. So I'm more impromptu. I can kind of go off the cuff and have a good time with the videos. I'm more of the goofball in front of the camera, and she's the goofball behind the camera.
So Diane Walsh asks, would Gary ever shave his beard or shorten it up? I think the beard is hiding his good looks.
I think the beard is my good looks. I mean, come on now. Look at that. Oh, yeah.
I will.
No, I have considered shortening up a little bit. And actually just recently I said, hey, Stacey, should I trim it up a ways for the cruise? She's like, no, you're Alaska.
I will insert a picture of what he looked like pre-beard. And so the last time I was clean shaved was our wedding 12 years ago. And then, so do one of those photos and then do the photo of our first anniversary cruise. Okay. Yeah, that was very nice.
That was very clean, very trimmed up.
Shaven.
Oh yeah, showing off the watch.
GQ.
And GQ look.
True. GQ.
Yeah. No, I may trim it down for the snow machine season because when I wear the helmet and the head guard and all that, my beard freezes to stuff because of moisture and it creates a difficult time. So I don't know. Not committed yet.
I have a question from another YouTuber. The Simple Alaskans.
Oh.
They live over off the Richardson, south of Glen Allen.
Oh yeah.
And they ask, if you had to choose one area to go play around with the snow machines, what area would that be for you guys? Just one.
You know, I'm at a disadvantage with that because we've only been able to really play in one area. We haven't explored Alaska very much. There are
On the snow machines.
On the snow machines. There are a ton of areas I want to go play. Last spring we were in Valdez area. My gosh, that just looks amazing out there.
It's too mountainous for me.
Monument, Eureka, that looks like a lot of fun out there too.
Just one.
Denali Highway, gosh, there's so many, and the lodges on Denali Highway.
I think Denali Highway.
Yeah, I don't.
That would be my answer.
Up north, Fairbanks, I don't know that area at all. I have no clue.
She says just one.
I can't. Out here, literally from our driveway, we can take a snow machine to Nome. So, I mean, this may be the most miles available to us here than anywhere else. I can't name just one because I haven't explored them all.
I want to do the Denali Highway.
Denali Highway would be amazing because you can stop by. There's several different lodges that are open in the winter time, and that would be beautiful. And I think this will be our final question tonight. It comes from Big Family Expedition, and they're asking.
Another YouTuber by chance.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're an RVing channel.
Yeah, so go look them up if you can. But they're asking if we have any regrets about moving to Alaska.
Not one.
No, I have one. I do have one regret, and I think you would agree with it.
You're going to make me cry.
I am going to make you cry. It's family and friends. We left amazing group of friends and family down in Spokane and Washington, and we do miss them every day. And it's the family group's getting smaller, you know, but we miss our family for sure. Yeah. That was the hardest move and the hardest thing to move from, and we have given them many open invitations to come. Please.
And the nice thing is we can fly and visit them as well. You know, we always say, you hear it almost every video, tomorrow's never promised. Yep. And Gary just lost his uncle.
Yeah, I did. Just
2 days ago. Unexpected.
Yep.
His parents called to tell us, and it's just like shocking. It's like his parents were
They just had dinner with him a week prior, so it was horrible.
So Aunt Kathy, we are thinking of you.
Yep.
And
praying for you and
Michael and Kevin and the rest of the family, because unfortunately, I know how you're feeling.
Yeah.
There isn't a day that we don't think about our friends and our family that are far, far away or gone from this heavenly earth. And, you know, someday we'll all be reunited. I know that. I'm still processing my mother's death.
I don't think there'll be an end to that. You know, it just...
Probably not.
Yep. I'm sorry to say.
I'm really, really looking forward to getting out of Alaska for a couple of weeks and spending it with our very, very best friends, Jeff and Julie.
It is going to be a very nice time.
We leave very soon to meet them and enjoy our European vacation. So we're looking forward to that. It's a well-needed break from not only Alaska's winters, but just everything we've been through this year.
But that's not to say that we haven't created a great circle of friends up here.
We love our friends.
We have some amazing friends up here. And I think every Alaskan that you meet, their hearts are very large. They want to get to know you. They want to be a part of your life. We've felt that from every person we've met up here. Whether they've been here for 2 years or 50 years, it doesn't matter. They're glad that you're here and spending time with them, and we're glad that they have opened their arms and hearts to us too. So to all of our friends up here in Alaska, thank you for opening up to us and allowing us into your your circle and your hands and your hearts.
Yeah, it means a lot because that's the hardest thing.
Yep.
Is I think someone else asked, what's the hardest part of living in Alaska?
Separate from family.
And it's being so far away from your friends and family from wherever you came from.
I think we're both kind of teary-eyed right now.
Yeah, a little bit. So I have no idea how this video is all going to come together with our house tour and our Q&A, but we hope you enjoyed this and stuck through it to the end. It's not your typical video from us,
right.
but I know
it was asked for. A house tour was asked for, and questions were asked, so we put the two together.
And we just want to thank you for being a part of our Freedom family and our truly everyday normal life of living in Alaska.
We don't go out and search for things just for the video.
No.
We just do things. We enjoy life, and you're going to come along on the cruise with us. You'll see our European adventures and our cruise across the Atlantic. So
Living Free Alaska European edition.
Right, we're heading to Europe.
So next week's video is going to be totally different content for a couple weeks as we take you along on our transatlantic journey. Fly to London and then cruise back to the United States. But thank you again for being a part of this family. If you like this content, please hit that subscribe button.
I want to see 10,000 when we get back.
Oh, wow.
That's only 300, right?
No.
Oh, it's 3,000 subscribers. We're at 90.
Oh, no. Yeah, 300
We're
subscribers.
9,700 right now.
Yeah.
I want to see 10,000 by the time we get back. That's not hard. That's not a hard ask.
300 is not
That's
a
not
hard
a hard
ask.
We can get 300 in one video. So let's do that, guys.
Yeah.
Subscribe to our channel. And let's see what happens at 10,000.
And by the way, Christmas card exchange.
Oh my, I don't know how many we've got already, but holy cow, we've got some cards.
Just know we will be sending out Christmas cards upon our return from Europe. So
I think it was one of your goals to get some cards while we're gone.
No, I'm going to make my own cards.
That's even better.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to make them through a company. But
oh, I got you.
It's more economical because the amount of cards that have come in, if I had to buy a Christmas card, that would be very expensive.
Gotcha.
So I'm going to buy in bulk. But anyways, we're rambling. Thank you for watching this video. If you like this content, please hit that subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know when our next video goes up. However, do expect a video from us every Wednesday morning. And until next time.
Hey, use the comments, ask questions, get on Facebook, and we're there too. Instagram as well.
Yeah,
right?
And Twitter.
X.
We're
everywhere. Join us and have a good time.
All right. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week. Thanks again for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you are notified whenever we post again. And lastly, we hope that you will join us here next time on Living Free Alaska.